What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel Messianic Me TV. For today's video, I'm gonna go a little bit different than what I usually do, but I promise it's for a good reason. But before we go ahead and dig into the video, if you're not yet part of the family, make sure you hit that subscribe button, because in this channel, we talk all things Torah, Halakha, Jewish thought, and more. If you end up enjoying this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up, because it really does help the video and the channel. And of course, if you find that this video is share-worthy, make sure you share it with your friends and family. Alright, let's go. Alright folks, let's go ahead and dive right into it. Today I wanted to talk to you about apologetics, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Obviously, if you've been watching this channel, and if you know me at all, you'll know that I love apologetics. I love researching, I love history, I love learning. I even love getting corrected. A lot of times people are afraid when it gets, a little sticky, and when people start questioning you and you begin to doubt sometimes about what you believe. But me, on the other hand, I love being challenged. And that's one of the reasons why I've always left my comment sections open. Only rarely do I ever delete comments or block people, but that's when they cross the boundaries and it gets intense and it becomes more insulting than a conversation. But that's another point. What I wanted to talk to you about today is the benefits of apologetics, but also a little warning that I want to give to those of you out there who perhaps are looking into apologetics for yourselves, for something you want to do, something you want to get into, or just something that you like to watch in YouTube or research about. Let's go ahead and dig into it. So, apologetics has its place. It is absolutely something essential for the life of any believer. And there are apologists for all types of angles. And that's the beauty of it, that people that are learned in their specific category, they want to be educated enough to be able to defend their beliefs. So that's what apologetics is. It comes from the word apologia, which basically means to make a defense. So when it comes to apologetics for me personally, the reason why I do it is because, again, since I love learning and I love researching, and of course I don't want to be living in a lie, I try to study as much as I can, and then I go and present what I've learned through this medium. And it's fun and all, but many times you encounter folks that want to debate, folks that want to fight, or those who just want to plain out insult, aka trolls. But it is still great, and I find it beneficial for me personally, because as I continue to learn and when I get challenged, I am met at a point where I could either fold and say, I have no idea what they're asking me, or I can make a defense for the specific point that they're questioning me about. So in a way, learning apologetics is kind of like a faith builder, because it helps you understand your faith a little bit better. It helps you understand why you believe what you believe. And I think that's the real big point in apologetics. It's the why before the what, or the why you live the way you do, or why you live the faith that you do. And while this is great to be able to defend yourself, if you will, when someone asks you questions, or even when you start to doubt yourself, or you might be in the middle of a spiritual attack where you feel doubt creeping into your mind, it's good to be able to put a defense. But there is a little warning that I wanted to put out there. And this is the bad of apologetics. A lot of times when you start digging into it, you start focusing so much on just gathering information and getting ready for the attacks that may come, because a lot of times, let's be real, many of the arguments that get brought, and I'm talking from my point as someone who is a Jewish believer in Yeshua, walking towards Catholic orthodoxy, I already know what the arguments are going to be. Oh, the Pope is the Antichrist, or Mary had other children, or there's no such thing as the Immaculate Conception, or the Rosary is an idol, or you're praying and worshiping saints. The same tired old arguments. And it's fun to engage with people, but sometimes it's just kind of annoying when it's the same arguments And it just takes a little bit of research to be able to combat these things. But it's fine. This is what we're here for. And that's why I made this channel, to answer the questions. However, again, going back to that warning, sometimes you get caught up in all this learning and getting all this information that you forget the real reason why you're even doing it, which is because you want to be connected to God and you want to help other people to connect to God. At least that's my personal reason behind apologetics and behind this channel. Although I wouldn't classify this channel as an apologetics channel, but I do consider it a channel where I try to show people what I have learned as I take you along in my journey as I walk out the faith. As many of you know, I began this channel as a Messianic Jewish believer, practicing Messianic Judaism. However, many things started to change when I started to dig into the history of the earliest believers in Yeshua. And if you go back in my videos, you'll see all of those topics, and there are more to come. But I just wanted to point this out because it wasn't until a couple of weeks ago that this really started getting to my mind. The fact that I've been learning so much that I felt that I needed to pump the brakes a little bit and remember why it is that I'm learning it. Is it to engage in spiritual boxing? Is it to be able to show the other people off? Is it to be able to say that I know more than the other guy? If that's the case, I might as well not do it. So then I realized that I had to slow things down and remember that this is all about building that connection with God. I want to know Him better. And the perfect example is when I go to the Psalms and I see the way that King David would talk to God in his prayers, in his Psalms. And I've been reading the Psalms every day. And the more and more I read them, I try to focus on every word and really taste the beauty that the scriptures deliver through the Psalms. And one of the things that stands out to me is that King David, being wise, being strong, being a king, he always humbled himself before God. He always spoke to God, letting him know, God, I am broken. I need you. And that's what I've been having to do as well. Slow it down, recognize that I'm nothing without God, and recognizing that no matter how much knowledge you got, no matter how amazing your talking abilities are and your ability to defeat others during a debate, no matter how wise you think you are, if you do not love God and you're not doing this for the right reasons, you are wasting your time. And I don't mean this just for people out there putting out apologetic content. I mean for just anyone out there, specifically those people that try to engage in videos as well, or just engage with people in real life. Remember why you're doing this. Because then it could lead you, if you don't remember this, it could lead you to the ugly of apologetics, which is pride. Pride starts creeping in when you feel that you know so much that you can't be wrong. Where you feel that you are so stable that nothing could take you down. But the scriptures warn us about this, and it tells us to be careful if you think that you're standing firm. So I don't say this as a threat or necessarily as a warning, but as a piece of advice to yourselves and to me, because I'm going to be watching this video again at some point. And when I need that reminder, I'm going to be watching this same video. And these words go for myself and to all of you watching. Remember why we learn about the faith. But I want to bring it back to the importance of apologetics so that we can do it in the healthy way. So what is the right way to go about apologetics? At least in my point of view, I feel that when we approach this, we always have to remember the reasons why we do it. And I think it ties down to the main two commandments as given to the Perushim, the Pharisees, by Yeshua himself. He says that the greatest commandment is to love God with all of your being. And the second one that is like it, to love your neighbor. So if you focus on loving God and loving people in your studies and in your delivery of apologetics, I think that way we'll be able to really benefit and always keep in mind, especially when there are people out there that just want to troll and attack you. You got to remember that sometimes these people may have gone through something tough in their lives where Perhaps they came out of the church because they saw something bad. Maybe they were scandalized by something that they experienced personally or something that they saw in the news. For example, if we look at the Catholic Church, I know of many people that have left because of the controversies that they've seen throughout the priesthood and the bishops and things of that nature. But we can't forget that there are people out there that have gone through these things and they have come out scarred. And a lot of times, their natural response is to retaliate and to attack. So maybe they are attacking, but we need to find out why. So another part of this apologetics is to try to build a relationship with whoever it is that your audience is, or whoever it is that you're talking to. Because another thing that I've learned, especially here through YouTube, is that it doesn't matter how many facts you present to a person. It doesn't matter how good your delivery is. It doesn't matter how well you present what you present. Because at the end of the day, each person will believe what they want to believe. Whether it's truth or not, each person determines in their heart what it is that they want to believe and adhere to. So with that in mind, as people that defend the faith, we have to keep in mind that we are here to plant seeds, to answer questions, and to defend the faith. But it is the job of the Holy Spirit, the Ruach HaKodesh, to actually mold the hearts. We are not here to win arguments. He will win that for us, but we just deliver and plant a seed. All right, folks, I hope that you have enjoyed this video. Again, I know that it's a little bit different, but it's something that I had in my heart that I really wanted to share with all of you. And I hope that you benefit from it. And I hope I benefit from it when I watch it at a later point, because I'm sure I'll need it. Thank you so much for watching. Have a blessed week. Shalom.